Next, we have the equipment cleanup, and I've got it all right here for you because I want to show you this because every year it's not done right, or at least done the way I would want to. At least the way I would want to do it. I should say that. It's done right for you guys. But I'm the one who has to come every Saturday morning and collect this and get it ready for game day, and then I'm having to sort through it and figure out where everything is. So this has nothing to do with practice. You will have at World Outreach Church, which is your weeknight practices. If you're unfamiliar with this, if you're coming down Old Fort Parkway, this is from I-24, this is from Broad, you come this way and you come down New Salem. World Outreach Church will be over here on the left, but before you get to the church, you'll see a big field over here. This is where we'll have the football field, and then there's 2 baseball fields. You'll come down to the red light, and you'll turn in to the parking lot. Now, all the equipment at World Outreach Church, there's a big red barn.
Oh, okay.
And all the equipment is in the back of this barn inside.
Okay.
So, after your practice, or before your practice, you park, you come in, right in here, you get your equipment out of the cage, you go all the way down the field. It's a pretty good hike. It's the best we can do. After your practice, you go back up the hill, through the parking lot, put it in there, lock it away, and then you're done. Let me also put this out there. I forget it every year. If you have a late practice, like what's the last practice? No, I mean the time. 5 to 6:30 and 6:30 to 6:30 to 8. So if you have a 6:30 to 8 time, by the time you get your equipment back up to the cage, it's starting to get a little dark. There's no lights in the barn. And the only thing I can suggest to you is either have a flashlight on hand, or if you have a flashlight, on your phone, because once you go in here, it's dark. I mean, there's nothing here to turn on. And the cages will be right here on the inside, so you'll need to have something to unlock and lock, see the combination. So that's my helpful advice to you.
Are the Saturday practices there as well?
No. No. All Saturday practices will be here at Bel Air, and we'll go over that in just a second.
Okay.
But your cages, there will be 1 football cage designated for you. There will be 2 bags of balls. Each bag should have about 8 footballs in it. That gives you enough for a pair of players to throw the ball together and get warmed up. So you'll have a bag of balls with 8 balls. You need to make sure at the end of your practice it's done. You need to make sure that you have done the drawstring on this. I can't tell you how many times I get there on Saturday morning to collect equipment and put all the balls in there. Maybe not you in particular, but coaches have put all the balls in there, have not drawstrung this. They've thrown it in there, and now I've got balls in the empty cage. It's time consuming. It's a pet peeve of mine. I'm working through it. I understand that. There's deficiency in me. I understand. But it's just me. And I can't imagine that if it's bothering me, it's probably bothering somebody else. Because when that coach comes in behind you, now they have to spend a few seconds, if not a couple minutes, collecting everything, counting everything, making sure they have everything before they can even leave. So just do it right the first time, and let's be done with it. You'll also have a bag, an additional bag, drawstring bag. Both bags need to be you need to use a drawstring. You will have flags in there. We're going to this year, I can't remember how I've done it in the past, I forget every year, but this year you're going to have red and blue in each bag, and you'll have enough for your squad. You'll have 8 red, you'll have 8 blue, so if you guys want to scrimmage and simulate that kind of stuff, you can. But at the end of your practice, you need to make sure that you have 8 red, 8 blue in your drawstring bag, along with your going to be small practice cones. All of that needs to go in here, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if you start doing this, and every year this happens, people get lazy and they put their cones in here. These cones, when they're stepped on, they break, they tear, they become very jagged. You put them in here and they cut these bags up. They tear the bags, they rip holes. We can purchase new bags, but if we don't have to purchase them as frequently if you'll just put the cones and everything away the way we want you. So take your bag, you'll just take your 2 bags at the end of your practice, drop it into the cage, lock the cage, and you'll be done.
Quick question.
Simple.
You're going to take care of the inflating of those balls? Because like in soccer, they bring their balls, and no parent has a pump, so I bring a pump. Do they bring balls to football?
No.
Some players may bring their own ball, but if you have a ball that's deflated, I always encourage everybody, just go ahead and get a $2 pump. Bring one, because I can't guarantee that these balls are going to be aired up every week. I can't get out there to check them. But if you have a pump on hand, it doesn't take anything. It'll get you through for one practice. And then so be it for the next one. Good question. Anything else?
Are the cones going to be in that yellow bag?
Yes.
So we only need the blue bag and 1 yellow bag, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So the cones and the flags will be in the bag, and they need to be in those bags. And then when you're done, don't take that yellow bag and put it into the ball bag. Keep those bags separate. Because on Saturdays, I have to come and get those flags. And I don't want to have to open the bags and pull everything out. I just want to be able to grab the yellow bags and be gone. Because we'll be using those also for the games. Good question. Yep,
On the weeknight practices,
you're ahead of us.
let me hold the question.
Yeah.
I
Hang
might
on.
forget.
No, you're good. You're good. Hang on. You're on it, Dave.
Well, it relates to the bags though.
Oh, go ahead. Go to the bags. We'll time it.
Whoever's practicing at 5 o'clock, can they go ahead and just leave their bags on the field, I guess?
I'd rather you not unless you know for sure that they're coming, because we've had it in the past where they've left it out there and that for whatever reason, a coach has not practiced and the bags have been left out overnight. So if no one is there, someone should be there. But if no one's there, it's probably a pretty good indication that team is not going to practice for whatever reason. So I'd rather you just go ahead and start walking it up, and if you guys intersect along the way, that's great. If not, they can come get it out of the cage. Let that be their responsibility. Okay, on the back of that, you have your, on the back of the orange sheet, you also have your cage combination. It's going to be a blue lock of 281032 that you guys will need to store. Either keep this sheet or put it in your phone. Make sure that you memorize it. 281032. On Saturdays, you'll never take the equipment out. You have no business in that barn on game day Saturdays. If you want to warm up, bring your own balls. Okay? Because we had this, it seems like every year somebody goes up there and grabs the bag and they start bringing it down to warm up. We're not going to do that. We'll take it from you. So we want you to bring your own ball and any other equipment you think you need. Games, practices, cancellations. We will make a decision on weeknight practices about the weather no later than 3:30 on that day. If you have not heard anything from us by 3:30 on that day, if you practice, it's at your discretion. Okay, so you can choose to go ahead and cancel or proceed with practice. You can even proceed to go out to the field, and if thunder or lightning hits, sounds, get off the field. You got to be gone. As soon as thunder hits, it doesn't matter if it's sitting right on top of you or even in the area, you have to get off the field. No questions asked. If a practice is canceled, you cancel your practice due to weather. You can make up your practice, but you need to look at your practice schedule, the yellow sheet that's in here. And if there's an open time slot on one of those days, it's a first come, first serve. You call the office. You have to call the office and reserve that spot so that we can put it on the board so that nobody else jumps in with you. We good on that? Any questions? Good. Okay. Let's see here. On Saturdays, we'll cancel the games or postpone the games. We'll have to just watch the weather. So encourage your parents not to email me or call me or do any of that. Just say, hang tight, check the weather, check the website. We will post it on the website under our news feed. We will send an email as soon as we know something. And we'll even post it on Facebook. So encourage them to become a friend on Facebook. And they'll get all the information there as well.
So we can't give all the parents your cell number?
Nope. I do good just taking y'all's calls. Let's see here. I've already told you how to access your team. You do have information down there. If you need to get in touch with me, you have my cell phone number. Feel free to give me a call, especially on practices. I would encourage you, go ahead and plug my phone number into your cell phone. You get to practice, something's going to happen. World Outreach gate is not going to be unlocked.
No.
It happens every year. And you're going to call me going, what do I do? And you need to call me. Just don't cancel practice because of that. We'll try to see what we can do to get the cage unlocked. We'll do our very best to make sure that World Outreach is on top of getting that gate unlocked so that you guys can all get in there. They don't want us running around in the grass, and understandably. But sometimes you have to. So we'll do our best to let you know. All right. Next sheet, you have your uniform night. This guy right here. Number 3. I want to make a change on number 3. It says, show up at your table. I want you to, if you got a pen, I want you to mark through, show up at your table. And above that, I want you to arrive. Arrive 15 minutes early. Because you cannot show up at your table if another team is already there. And I think we only have 2 times